Alright, green-red aggro. Just good, honest creature beats. We've got Experiment 1 and Pelt Collector at the bottom end of our curve. We got some Burning-Tree Emissaries and some decent 2-drops. We got some Bushwhackers and some Spellbreakers. We got Klothys, Embercleave, and Ghor-Clan Rampager for some punchy at the top end of the curve. Let's go ahead and jump on into some matches and see how it goes. Well, I think it's important to remember that any non-rotating format in Magic, and this is true of Historic too, will turn to crap combo fest if they don't manage it. Like, as more and more cards get printed, there's more and more combinations that create obnoxious combos. And like, if they want to manage things, they should manage them. And if they don't, it just turns into that. Whether it's Modern, whether it's Pioneer, whether it's Historic, it all ends up there eventually with zero management. Is Grokeys bouncing back well? Someone said he was 1-2 to start. Slow and steady. I believe in him. He can achieve $10 worth of gems. Legacy is the last bastion with Force of Will. I'd actually disagree. So, like, one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of Legacy in general is that while Force of Will prevents some combo decks from running the format over, the fact that a number of games in that format come down to, did they have their thing and did I have my Force of Will, also isn't particularly good gameplay. So yeah, I get that Force kind of self-polices the format, but at the same time, the way in which it polices it doesn't really generate interesting or satisfying games of Magic, in my opinion. Well, we mulliganed to 5, but our 5 is wonderful, so let's do it. Yes, Alluro. So, Bushwhacker here has the Surge mechanic. You can cast it for its Surge cost if it's the second spell you've played in a turn. So, works really well alongside Burning-Tree Emissary. So, we get to go Burning-Tree, which makes 2 mana when it enters play. And then we get to Surge this Bushwhacker and attack them for a bunch. Fall Shahar, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. So we'll play Bushwhacker here and then crack them for 8, leaving 6 power in play. So have to get set up to kill them on 4 if they don't do anything. If we draw Embercleave next turn, we can cast that. Our deck is not the answer deck. It's the question deck, chat. It's asking, are these things good enough? Yes or no? BTE was supposed to, was it supposed to be used as mana fixing? Nah, I think they had to have known Burning-Tree Emissary was going to be an obnoxious card. There's no way they didn't. Alright, no Doomblade. This is actually the only card I'm not a huge fan of that they added to Historic so far. I think the types of games this card generates on average tend to be pretty medium. It's a very obnoxious card. Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Sea. Do 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 do. I love a lot of the selection of cards they added. Looking forward to playing with a lot of them. I am taking donations for both specific deck lists and build-arounds with those cards. Yes, March 12th is super soon. So my plan is to clear out all of the Pioneer decks in the queue, hopefully before March 12th, and then we'll do Historic every day into Standard starting then. Are you dead yet? Nice inverter deck, bro. Does that change if Inverter and Lotus Field get banned? Yeah, I mean, everything's subject to change if they manage the format. I think moving forward, my play just to put my cards on the table. Moving forward, unless the formats available on Magic Arena become extra bad again, which I think is unlikely for both Historic and Standard, I am planning to permanently leave the cost of adding Magic Online decks to my queue at $50. I just prefer playing Magic Arena, and for a long time I've kept the Magic Online rate more accessible because I wanted variety in my content. And with Arena having Historic mature more, it's going to mature even more over the summer with the addition of Jumpstart. I think making this a more Arena and less Magic Online stream only makes sense. So, yeah. I'm still willing to play Pioneer and Moto for higher donations, but I think in general, Arena is the future of Magic, and I want to lean into that for my content. Just the games are just more fun. The games are faster, and they're more fun because they're faster, in my opinion. Down to 5 again. This 5 not nearly as good as the last, though. So the event today, DMS, you had to qualify for last month. So I'm qualified for the event today. The ladder season ending today qualifies you for the next month. So if I finish in the top 1200 today, I will get to play in an actual MCQ next month in March. As for are we gonna make it, I believe the season ends in 2 hours, and I don't know what rank I'm at. I didn't check this morning. I don't plan to play. Either we're gonna make it with what we did already, or we're not. I mean, to be fair, even if the season had ended yesterday, DMS, I wouldn't know, because believe it or not, Wizards of the Coast doesn't automatically tell you who made the cut for what. So I almost conceded there, but like, if I draw an untapped land for Rabblemaster, we might have a shot. Alright, now I'm going to concede. I mean, not only do they have my email, but like, that's something that should be handled by the client. They don't even need to email me. It should just be like added to my account immediately. Man, we have been really unlucky with so far this morning with this deck. So you just need to draw an untapped land on 2 here. It's the same difference, Seth. Oh, it's your fault, Lark? Well, that explains it. Gosh. Game Trails and Rootbound Crags have not been kind to us. Maybe there should just be a bunch of mana confluences in this deck, excuse me. Cut like 2 of these 8 cards, or 3 or 4 of them even, and just play a fistful of mana confluences. Deal. Yeah, well, I think some tapped lands is fine. I think 8 tapped lands is probably too many. I don't think it's as simple as, like, don't play tapped lands. I think it's more like the volume of tapped lands we're currently playing is too high. Like, I think some amount of Game Trails or Rootbound Crags is appropriate, but the fact that they don't work together means playing 8 of them is not okay. I think 4 is probably fine, but 8 is not. Yeah, answer good. The heat for mana confluence is not as much of a problem during combo winter. Agree with that sentiment. Just play some Fate Weave lands, right? Oh, Fate Weave. Oh, heck, Shards of Fate. So many good ideas. So much poor execution. My poor Wild Slash. Atarka's command is lethal next turn. Am I a liar? No, it does 6, right? Never forget, this stream was pre-recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. Savaril, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Deals 3 damage. Creatures you control get 1/1. Do you have a Fatal Push or are you dead? Did we just, like, kill them on 2 mulls to 5? We just, like, mulled to 5 and killed them twice, huh? Nice inverter deck. Why did you get me hooked on this mobile game? It's a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of it too, Beansy. Math people like numbers games. Weird. That game was awkward too, right? Because like we had double game trail to start. We found the anti-inverter tech. It's just a couple of Burning-Tree Emissaries. Obviously, based on the fact that we just won that matchup, Inverter is fine. And I would like to submit that Burning-Tree Emissary should be banned. Why not ban both? I can't imagine this deck is too much. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if like the Stomping Grounds are the Stomping Grounds are probably the most expensive part of it. We talked about wanting to add mana confluence to the mana base. I don't believe that card is cheap. We kept 7. What is this wizardry? Our Cleaves dollar bills. Dollar bills, y'all. Let's see, I'm thinking about playing defense here. I don't think I can attack into just the Soulscar Mage. If they have a Wild Slash, I just get destroyed. Huh? Do I just play this? This can provide some life gain here if we start casting some spells. Or they start casting some spells. Somebody's going to start casting some spells. Main deck Rampaging Ferostodon. It's pretty scary. Damping Sphere is $15. Seriously? Man. It's $2.50. Must be on Moto. Wait, are they $2.50 on Moto? Are they $15 on Moto? That can't be real. Now you're gonna make me. I own 2 Damping Spheres on Moto, so I should sell them if that's the case. No, Damping Sphere is 45 cents. Dang it, Twitch chat. Dang it, Twitch chat. It's a $15 foil. Okay, that I believe. So, like, I know that, like, that you said conspiracy theory, so, like, that's probably a joke. But it's actually something that's kind of real, right? Like, if someone like Aaron Forsyth or someone that makes ban list decisions wanted to make an absurd profit off of Magic the Gathering cards, it's a completely unregulated market, right? And, like, that's not only possible, it's, like, legal to do. Like, they could definitely buy up a bunch of copies of cards and then unban them. Like, before Pioneer even got announced, a bunch of potential staples for the format got bought out, so the information that was going to be a format was definitely leaked. Oh, it's super unethical, but, like, we live in a world where billionaires are allowed to exist, so, like, you know, life is unethical. I think we're pretty unlikely to die here. And then next turn with the Atarka's command and Klothys trigger, we're pretty likely to kill them. This is 8. Down to 6. Well, I mean, no one said the people that were doing the insider trading were smart Magic players. So, adventure cards never go to the graveyard. Well, that would be really good, except I don't have a second red source. So if I attack, this gives itself trample, right? So they'll block here, and then they'll take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I believe they're dead if Mutavault blocking is the only thing they're about to do. Atarka's command proving to be good and lethal again. Ghor-Clan Rampager is also lethal here. How's Pioneer been? The Keesus deck we played was a dumpster fire that I took off my website. This deck's been reasonable so far. Just good, clean, linear aggro. Bye, friend. Alright, so Scavenging Ooze seems good here. Roast seems good here. Klothys seems wonderful. What do I want to trim? What do I want to trim? Is it crazy to cut Bushwhacker on the draw? I feel like that's not crazy. Maybe trim an Embercleave. I think I'd rather have Rampager than Embercleave because this being a 4/4 feels fine. Yeah, this is fine. Pelt into Pelt Experiment 1. Hopefully we find something to play on 3 to grow them up before we play Ghor-Clan Rampager. Rampager looking much better than Embercleave would in this opening hand here. You know, I'm honestly not sure that Cleave is better than Ghor-Clan Rampager in this deck in general. Just because red can be kind of a challenge for the mana base to produce. And like a lot of our creatures tend to be on the smaller side in terms of power and toughness. So a lot of the time, Cleave's not going to be powering up more than Ghor-Clan Rampager would be. Feel like there's a real chance that I'd rather just have 4 Rampagers. The upside to it being a creature in a pinch is also very real. Well, if they attack with Eldrazi Obligator here, I'm going to block. It's a pretty easy trade. Play a bunch of Bone Crushers. That's probably a good piece of advice, honestly. Is there fear in your dojo, opponent? Are you scared? Because you should be. You should be scared. Alright, do I Ghor-Clan Rampager or Atarka's Command here? If I Atarka's Command, I lose the Pelt Collector. If I Ghor-Clan, I lose the Ghor-Clan. Yeah, but the team's smaller next turn, and like the Atarka's Command pumps more things next turn. I'm definitely not doing nothing. We're definitely taking a game action here. I think I'm just Ghor-Clan Rampaging. That saves my threat. And like, I could draw a 1 or 2 mana thing that pumps these next turn anyways. So like, if I draw a 1 or 2 mana thing, like, imagine I draw Reckless Bushwhacker next turn. I boarded those out, didn't I? Because we were on the draw this game. Yeah, I did. But like, any 2-drop here would be really good, right? Or any 1 or 2 mana thing. Militant or Burning-Tree Emissary. Scavenging Ooze, Roast, all of these things would be fine. Here's hoping they don't have 2 pieces of 1 mana removal here. Okay. It's a fine draw. You can see your sideboard during the game. Fun fact, I reported that as a bug for years. It took them years to have the ability to see your sideboard during a game. Alright, so if I attack all of these at Chandra, she guaranteed dies. So I can attack this one at them. So kill your Planeswalker, put you to 12. Gruul Smash. Lava Coil's pretty good because it exiles the Spellbreaker, which means my Pelt Collectors don't grow up. Was that a good draw, chat? What do we think? Can I get a judge ruling on drawing the second Atarka's command? What do we think? Do 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 do. Bye, Felicia. Worked out A-okay. Yeah, taking the aggressive role there, rather than trying to, like, play the 4-4 worked out pretty well. It does, Rhino. Yep, yeah, we punched through the raid goal. I think we ended up getting, like, almost 300 installs. And then past the installs, my rep for the campaign said that they were pleased because my installs had a higher than expected number of players that spent money too, which the game's good. That doesn't surprise me. It's easy to sell good products. Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Up to 700 people already this morning. That's pretty awesome. It's always hard to predict weekend numbers. See if we hit our normal 1,200 or so during the arena segment today or not. Yeah, it's fine. Not amazing, but fine. There are some guides surrounding Raid pinned in the subs Discord channel. That is, unfortunately, protection from this. Corn Chips, thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back. Deal. Easy trade. So it's hard to know, Charles, because number of subscribers people have on their Twitch channels isn't a public-facing metric. That's not a stat that's available, like watch time and stuff like that. So, like, my subscriber count tends to be like 2 to 3 times what my average viewer count is, depending on the given month or whatever. But I don't know if that's necessarily better or worse than, like, the average. Okay, well, the good news is Klothys gets to exile some of the artifacts from their bin at least. Get rid of Stone Coil Serpent to start, I think. Then I'm going to go ahead and play Pelt Collector, and then we're going to kick Surge Reckless Bushwhacker here. This needs 7 devotion to be a creature. So if they don't trade with this Bushwhacker, I can attack with Klothys next turn potentially. Kind of an interesting racing pattern here. Depends on what the rest of their hand looks like. We might be able to be successful. If they have a couple of Shrapnel Blasts, we're probably dead. Never not done the Shrapnel Blast, yeah, basically. I mean, this is only 8, right? So, like, they're going to take another 2 this turn with Klothys. And then I get to go Dryad, or I get to go Pelt Collector into Bushwhacker here. Oh, I'm still 1 short on this, huh? Yeah, this is only 6. That's unfortunate. They're dead if they don't have interaction, though, right? This is going to be 9, 10, 11. That's unfortunate. Hey, Mostros, thank you for the 3rd of a year. Weather Lady, thanks for the 14 months. I did see the new historic cards. Why not get the land? Because any interaction disrupts that, right? So like, and if they don't have disruption, they're dead anyways. So I think I'd rather just gain a little bit of life. So how am I attacking here? I need to throw a couple of points in front of this. I think I leave another one back to make them activate this. I think I just smack them for 3 and then pass here to make their attacks as awkward as possible. The Voltaic Brawler's been pretty reasonable. I don't know what Gallia of the Endless Dance does. The Dryad's been kind of whatever. I could take or leave that in the place of other things. If I block like this, I'm taking 6, 7 still, right? 5, 6, no. Okay, I think I block like this so I'm not dead to Shrapnel Blast, or so I'm not dead to Wild Slash. Always dead to Shrapnel Blast. Never not dead to the second Shrapnel Blast. Oh, the Satyr Lord. That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I actually like that idea a lot. Playing Gallia and Fire Drinker Satyr. That seems fine. Gallia is pretty close to a constructed playable card on its own. Oh, this does have haste, doesn't it? Yeah. So definitely want Destructive Revelry here. I think I'm again just going to trim these Embercleaves. I think our red sources kind of make it hard to cast, and we don't have that large of creatures anyways. So A lot of their things are either indestructible or bigger than 5, so I don't think Roast is good to bring in here. I mean, Embercleave's definitely better when you want to be more linear, but I think this just isn't a very good Embercleave deck in general. I think this deck should probably just be playing 4 Ghor-Clan Rampagers just because its average creature size is small and the mana base doesn't make casting a red card super easy. Are there any other close to Pioneer playable satyrs? Now I kind of want to do a Scryfall search. Satyr. Converted mana cost, less than 3. So there's Fire Drinker Satyr. Basically just Fire Drinker. Boon Satyr's kind of playable. It's a 3-drop though. Satyr Wayfinder's not really a playable aggressive Satyr, chat. The context is key. Satyr Fire Drinker is a playable card. Playable aggro card. We mulliganed this game, but it's looking like we might get a freebie because they just don't have land. Oh, Annex technically makes satyrs, right? Sure. Sure, I understand what you're saying. Its trigger makes satyrs. Sure. I mean, sometimes Spellbreaker plays defense. Sometimes. Oh yeah, 4 mana Xenagos definitely makes 2/2 satyrs, right? That's definitely a piece of knowledge I have tucked in my mind somewhere. Ooh, Satyr's Cunning is kind of playable. Escape 2. I feel like you could play like a pair of that card. Well, yeah, so you want to restructure the deck, I think. So, like, obviously, if Embercleave's hard to cast in this current list, I think so. This build's been like a green splash red aggressive deck. I think there's probably a Satyr-based build that's like a red splash green. That could be fine. This Hangerback Walker pumping up tokens could be a problem here. Could be a problem. I guess I get to smash with a bunch of 3 power, 3 toughness things this turn, so it's not too big of a deal. And then hopefully next turn we draw an untapped land and get to command plus Bushwhacker and kill them. Make this a 4/3 with trample here. I don't think that's true. Like, Annex is a constructed playable card. I think Fire Drinker Satyr is a pretty constructed playable card. Both Spellbreaker and Brawler will have Trample again next turn, so fingers crossed for a land. If we hit a land and get to go Spell Bushwhacker the next 2 turns, it should be in a good spot. Yeah, of course Annex is good with Cleave. If you restructure the deck to play Annex, you would still play Cleave. Context is key, as is always the case. We end up playing defense. Do you see my mountain in my forest? This isn't a deck that plays defense, chat. The motto isn't Gruul block. The motto is Gruul smash. DMS, thanks for the 25 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Unfortunate to not peel a land there. They're dead if they don't have interaction. They could have a piece of interaction though. Whoo! Not with that timing though. Pump up, the bump up, the wump up, the jam. Bump up, the wump up, the pump up, the jam. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't play your instants at instant speed to feel smart, chat. Play them on your turn and don't get blown out, okay? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do, baby, ooh, say ooh. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It feels good to play a simple smashy deck that can actually win games of Magic. All right, we're 3-0 with this. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll really quick because I need to run to the restroom. We'll be back in like 2 minutes. Back in a bit. Obviously, the deck is perfect and we don't need to change anything. Naturally. Naturally. Whoa, we're up to 1,100 people. Happy Saturday, folks. Hope you're having a good morning wherever you're at. Do we have a host in there that I missed when I went to the restroom? At any rate, hope everyone's having a great weekend. We're going to be hanging out playing Magic all day. We got 2 more matches in this Pioneer League. Or maybe it was a fluke. It popped up to 1,100 and then popped back down to 7. Whatever. We're going to finish this out, and then we're going to play some Arena. Gosh, we were waiting 2 minutes to find a match? What a dead format. I mean, to be fair, Teferi 5 is obnoxious because it's difficult for new players to know when it's won the game. That's why cards like Dream Trawler tend to be better, because it's more abundantly clear when that card's going to win the game. The arena waiting room has lots of couches. Yep. March 12th, chat. March 12th, this is going to become a more heavily arena channel. We're getting new exciting historic cards. We're gonna have some all arena days starting March 12th. Actually, probably March 13th, because March 12th, I assume there'll be a patch in the morning, and we won't be able to play it first thing. Yeah, historic with this new set of cards, and then cards coming this summer. Super pumped to see what historic cards come up. I might send out my end of quarter survey a little bit early, just to try and collect a little bit more specific feelings people have on in terms of historic versus Pioneer in the current format. It's cool to have a format that expands in both directions chronologically. Yeah, I agree. They've done a good job of leveraging historic in order to make it, like, fairly unique, it feels like. That's unfortunate. This might be a game where we're, like, pumping the brakes with Gruul Spellbreakers. I think I'm going to be blocking here, and then Atarka's commanding to kill it. Nice, Beansy. Yeah, I'm almost to 60. The higher level you get, the more value you get from your energy refills, too, which is great. What is blocking? I'm sorry I betrayed you, girl. Yeah, you're good, Tosby. I haven't been responding to people. I need to wait to get everybody's preferences for the giveaway and then figure out who's getting what. So I'm gonna try and finagle it so that way everybody who won something gets like one of their first 3 choices, ideally one of their first 1 or 2. So I need to get all of them in to see what the permutations look like to make that happen. Probably dead here. Yeah, their curve is very ideal. They went 1, 2, 3, 4 on the play. If they don't have a spell here to trigger prowess and they have to hold Swift Sphere back, maybe we have a shot. Super dead to any instant or sorcery here. Okay, so gonna pull Embercleave. Gonna bring in Roast and Scavenging Ooze. Going to trim Experiment 1 and a couple of Bushwhackers, I think. Blocking is the doorway to fear in your dojo. Ain't that the truth? We're scared, chat. We're just too scared. Oh yeah, Trusty's totally a sub. I don't really pay attention to usernames on applications a lot of the time. They're definitely a member of Hooglandia. Fun fact with Dryad Militant, chat. If you wild slash a Dryad Militant, your wild slash gets exiled. If you Doomblade a Dryad Militant, Doomblade goes to your graveyard. And the reasoning for that is damage doesn't kill creatures, state-based actions kill creatures, chat. The key difference being when you play a card that destroys something, the card destroying something puts Dryad Militant into the graveyard during... It's nothing to do with layers. So the card destroying Dryad Militant puts Dryad Militant into the graveyard while the card destroying it is still on the stack. Which means when the card destroying it would go to the graveyard, Dryad Militant's already off the board. So the card goes to the graveyard. Whereas with a damage-based removal effect, your cards, with a damage-based removal effect, the actual card dealing the damage doesn't put the creature in the bin. State-based actions that are checked after the spell resolves tell the Dryad Militant to die. Have you considered being luckier, Bloodbath? That's really not that far off of average in my experience. Having upgraded a ton of artifacts, it takes about 1.5 million silver to take an artifact from 12 to 16. Man, it's a shame Klothys can't redirect to Planeswalkers anymore, huh? This can't hit Planeswalkers either anymore? That's super sad. I think I gotta hit their Planeswalker here. Bone Crusher Giant's real good. Yep, yeah, I agree with that. Layers are not often a thing you need to worry about. State-based actions come up a lot and are worth taking the time to understand. I think I want to just Brawler here. This pumps up Pelt Collector, and then Pelt Collector pumped up can attack through their 4/3 with Command next turn. And Command plus this Klothys might actually allow us to close this game out. Klothys has been super impressive in the games we've had him in so far. He's gained us, what, like 6 life this game? I apologize for misgendering the made-up character. In my mind, I've been saying he for this for forever, and it's gonna take me, it's difficult to retrain my brain. Apologies for ruining your fantasy character. It's a made-up character, that's a god, it's a made-up species. Alright, so they have one blocker. I'm an animate object. Listen, it's very clear for me bouncing around on screen that I'm a very animated object. So they're dead, right? Thanks to Klothys. Definitely looks very similar to Xenagos. So this does 4. So we get to take a game 3 here on the draw, which is going to be tough. Like, remember, we barely scraped this out and we were on the play this game. Do I want to board any differently on the draw? Is it crazy? Maybe I want to just pull up here and like have Rekindling Phoenix and Bushwhacker on the draw. That's probably the case. This is fine. Klothys has been impressive. I think I'd rather have Rekindling Phoenix than Chandra. Cannot wait to vote on Tuesday. It's crazy living in a state where my vote matters. Thanks to the 2/3 of your Captain Jack. To be fair, all votes really matter during primary season. I think I'd rather just roast this rather than play Voltaic Brawler. I feel like if I play Brawler out here, they're pretty likely to just kill it and attack me. So I'd rather just take their threat off the table. Thanks for the half a year, Dr. Armadillo. Not when you're in the states that voted so late it didn't matter. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. There are states down the line. Some states don't vote till like May, right? And most of the delegates are spoke for by then. Closed primary states are awkward. Illinois is an open primary state. Just walk in and ask for the ballot. I mean, to be fair, while Klothys is definitely good here, the reason why she's being as good as she is because of the fact that they've stumbled, right? Like, if they had a third land this game, it's an entirely different ballgame. Roast this one. Yeah, roasting puts 2 cards in the bin for Klothys as well. Just keep her having an endless supply of food. They could have a lava coil here. They have a lava coil, the game's not necessarily over. They do not have a lava coil. Yeah, just a little bit, stumbled and bumbled a little bit too long. Holy gosh, chat. It's been so long since we've played for a 5-0 on this stream. Also, fun fact, chat. Fun fact, that very competitive Magic Arena event today, let's view the prizes for this league. if we 5-0 this league, we get 11 treasure chests, 150 play points, and 4 qualifier points. So if we 5-0 this league, we get $15 of in-game credit, points to qualify us for a bigger tournament, and $22 to $25 worth of actual cash that we can cash out. In comparison, the Mythic Point Challenge today, you can earn $10 of arena currency going 10-0 on. So like, the stark contrast there. In fact, even just going 4-1, so going 4-1, we have, if I lose this next match, I've still made more money than if I 10-0'd the Magic Arena tournament today. We are 4-0. I could drop this league and have more prizes than 10-0ing or 10-2ing the arena event today. No, I'm counting the $10 I get back, CJNJ. So if I 4-1 this league, I spent $10, but I get $12 back in in-game credit, and I get $10 worth of prizes and qualifier points. So that $10 worth of prizes is profit. So if you want to take my entry fee into account, I'm getting $22 at a minimum back for going 4-1. Again, Embercleave just looking super awkward. Hey, Ephemeral, good luck if you're still here. Get you in a bit. Look, my payouts are as good as the small indie company that runs Arena. Thanks for the biddies, Righto. BT Dubs, if you live in South Carolina, you should go vote today. I'd encourage you to feel the burn. Yeah, I think Cleave's really good in more red-based decks. Like I said, one of my pieces of feedback in the wrap-up of this deck is definitely going to be play more Ghor-Clan Rampager. This deck 100% would like more Ghor-Clan Rampager. I would be fine with the Warren nomination. I think based on every poll and every vote that's been cast so far, voting for Warren is basically like voting for a moderate. There's no way the DNC is going to give Warren or Bernie the nomination if they don't achieve 51% of the votes. And Bernie's an outside shot at getting 51%. Warren is almost assuredly not getting 51% of the vote. She just does not, it's not mathematically feasible. She is not a mathematically viable candidate. If you are someone who wants progressive policies in the White House, I would implore you to vote for Bernie Sanders. He is the only shot in this race to get actual progressive policies into the White House. Yeah, just attack them with everything, right? 1000%. Girl smash, girl smash. You take 5, 8, 9, 10. This tramples for 2. That's 12. So they're going to 2. So they're dead to this. They're dead to this Darkest Command. What if we do to the What if we do what the moderates did and put Bernie and Warren in a trench coat? So part of the problem with even that thought process is that, oh, they are just dead to Klothys too, is that based on some of Warren's points during the debates, like if there's a brokered convention, I honestly would be kind of surprised at this point if Warren backed Bernie. I think there's a chance that she wouldn't do that. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Gully Seagull. All right, well, that was kind of exactly how we want these games to go, huh? Definitely want my Wild Slashes. They're a Land War Elf deck. Yeah, that was... Warren's taken a lot of pivots that make me think even if she won the nom, she would become more moderate in the general election, like a lot of people are known to do. Bernie's been doing this for forever, and he's very consistent in his messaging. The Flash, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Roast for potential Lovestruck Beast. Yes, that's probably a fine inclusion. Embercleave's a little bit harder to get off on the draw because I'm just not happy with this card in general, so I think that's fine to trim. Are there not limits on how much Bloomberg can contribute to his own campaign? Oh, my sweet summer child. You must be new here. Welcome to America. I agree, Beansy. I think, in my opinion, trying to win the general election in November by trying to convince voters who voted for Trump to vote for a moderate Dem is a mistake. Their better chance to win is by instead activating voters who otherwise don't normally vote. I'm going to keep this hand, because if we draw a forest or a mountain on one, it's just the stone cold Nutter Butters. Okey-doke. I think the risk to reward with this hand was appropriate. It's fine. We'll just win game 3 on the play. I don't know how long people traditionally hold on for. I also think, historically speaking, looking at when people drop out probably isn't super meaningful for this election, because this election's kind of unique. All right, I think we're dead. That'll do, pig. That'll do. If Bernie goes into the convention having the most votes and doesn't walk out with the nomination, I would assume there will be a lot of people that just won't vote in November. Would be my expectation, because they'll just be too disinterested and too disconnected from the DNC and the Democratic Party in general. It'll likely be the effective death of the Democratic Party. Death Apparatus, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right. So I think I just Spellbreaker haste attack here. Is the plan. I suppose I could also just attack and then Ghor-Clan Rampager. Nah, I think I'd rather offer a trade. So they'll like trade for Brawler or trade for Pelt Collector. Sure, I guess that makes sense. Otherwise the Pelt Collector would get bigger. Yeah, if we draw an untapped land next turn, we get to go Rampager plus Atarka's command. Have a really good setup. Puts us in a good spot to double spell. They have an X spell here. They have like a Walking Ballista or something. Sweet. We're just going to get the Hawaii 5-0 nice and easy here. Seems like it. All right, so naturally now I need to tweet that we 5-0'd our Pioneer League, which means we got approximately 3 times as many prizes as the MCQ is worth. We beat Inverter. I don't tag WotC, but I use hashtags that they check almost assuredly. So my takeaway from this deck is that both Atarka's commands and Burning-Tree Emissary and Reckless Bushwhacker are really good cards, probably worth exploring in this format. Klothys was also very good at several points. I liked that a lot. It feels weird. This feels weird to say after playing it, but I was actually really unhappy with Embercleave in this list. Not only was the mana awkward, we only have 14 red, but just like the fact that it often costed 3 or more mana was bad. I think I would just play 2 more Ghor-Clan Rampager. I think because our creatures are kind of small on average, Ghor-Clan Rampager is often going to give us a similar amount of punch that Embercleave does, and it's easier and more consistent to cast. The other thing that was awkward with this list was the mana. So both for Game Trail and for Rootbound Crag was definitely not ideal. I think you have to play one of these 2 cards in your Pioneer deck, but playing both was super clunky. I think I would just play 4 Mana Confluence. In Combo Winter, you're less likely to get burned by taking damage from your lands, it feels like. So I think I'd probably just cut 4 Game Trail and play 4 Mana Confluence. All right, what are we doing? I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while we get flipped over and set up for the next deck. When we get back, we are going to be taking a crack at a 4-color Gitrog monster deck in Historic on Magic Arena. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. We got a ton more Magic coming up.